Welcome to Upticks. I'm Jake Falcon, the founder of Falcon Wealth Advisors and your host of Upticks. Today is episode 123, Maximizing Your Checking and Savings Accounts. Okay, welcome back to the show. I hope that all of you out there are staying safe and healthy during this horrible pandemic. Good news is on the horizon with the vaccine starting to filter its way through the population. Hopefully we can get to see some of the numbers leveling off. And if you're watching this during the holiday season, I hope that you are, again, staying safe and healthy. And if you are getting to see some of your family members, I hope they are being safe and healthy as well. Okay, so for today's topic, I wanted to talk about ways to maximize your checking and savings accounts. Now, you may say, Jake, my checking account is basically like cash. How are you going to tell me how to maximize it? Well, I'll give you some good ideas on ways that you can do that. And the two best ways we know to maximize things are to, one, lower costs, and two, increase returns. Okay, so let's talk about checking accounts first. So checking accounts are a necessity in today's society. Very few individuals, if any, are only using cash. I don't know what the numbers are on this, but I would argue that 90% of Americans have a checking account. I could be wrong, but certainly with our clients at Falcon Wealth Advisors, I would say 100% of them do, or 99, a lot of them do. And the reason we all know you need a checking account is because, well, handling cash just now really isn't that safe. Not only for a chance of being pickpocketed or losing the money, also because of germs now with the pandemic going on. And in this online e-commerce society that we're living in, it just pays to be able to do things electronically, and a checking account certainly will help you do that. Now, you have to understand, though, banks make money in two ways. And the first way is simply through direct fees. So they'll charge you overdraft fees for a checking account, admin fees, transaction fees, wire fees. There's a multitude of ways that they do ding you on fees. And my recommendation to get your costs or your fees down low would be to work with actually a local bank. We've got some great local long-standing banks in Kansas City. And in my opinion, they have done a good job here locally of not charging little fees on things. A lot of times these national banks, these bigger banks, will charge fees, and you can avoid that by going to a local bank. Also, if you're working, typically if you set up a direct deposit into the account, they'll waive the local fees. So just, I guess the point here is to be mindful of what you're paying and be careful and shop around. If you're paying, hundreds of dollars of fees for a checking account that's also not paying you any interest, there might be a better solution literally down the road. And you have to remember that a checking account very much is a commodity. All you're looking for is the ease of use, safety. You obviously want the bank to be around. And that's really it, right? And a good relationship and maybe a good client service department so that if you do need something on your account, they're easy to get a hold of, right? So that's important. I like using a local bank for that. I like setting things up automatic when you can, making sure that they're not nickel and diming you on the fees, and get those fees down as low as you possibly can. Now, another way to maximize, so that's the checking account, right? The checking account, it's a commodity. You need it. Keep it low fee, ease of use, and you're really maximizing it, in my opinion, to a pretty good standpoint. The second piece of maximizing your checking and savings would be your savings accounts. Now, this is where I see a tremendous opportunity in our clients and maybe many of you out there that aren't clients. And the reality is, banks, okay, they make money on direct fees from your accounts. They also make money by paying you an interest rate, typically pretty low. And then they go out and loan your deposits out and charge higher interest than what they're paying their customers. Now, that's okay. I mean, that's the way banks have to make money. They have to be in business, and that's one way that they do it. What I'm suggesting, though, now, in the low interest rate environment that we are in at the end of 2020, I mean, a 10-year government bond, a 10-year treasury note is still yielding less than 1%, meaning if you give your money to the United States government, they're going to pay you less than 1% a year to hold on to your money. And they go earn interest or do it on other things with it. So, and savings accounts are worse, probably. So, what I am suggesting you consider is certainly with Falcon Wealth Advisors, you can open up, in essence, a savings account with us. And even the way that we're managing money in a somewhat conservative manner, we're still targeting 2, 3, 4% in liquid investments. Now, again, I want to be very certain here. There is some risk, obviously, if you're going to invest in something versus just keeping it in a savings account. But you don't have to have 50,000, 100,000 necessarily in your savings account. Certainly, if you don't think you're going to use it within 1 year. So, what I like to see for my clients, and what I do personally, is I keep about 3 months of money in my checking account. And I only get paid every 3 months. So that's a reason also. So I get paid every quarter, and then my, account goes down, down, down until the quarter ends. And then I get paid again and it goes back up. Now with my excess though, I'm moving it in, and we use Charles Schwab as our custodian. I move my excess money into my Charles Schwab checking / savings, whatever you want to call it. It's an after-tax account. It's not a retirement account. And I invest it, and I buy bonds or stocks or cash or whatever else I want to do based on whatever my financial goals are for that bucket of money. But the return that we're making for our clients and for myself by doing that, in my opinion, is far greater than sitting on $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in your savings account, earning you close to nothing. Now, again, so on your checking, I like to leave, anywhere from 1 to 3 months. If you know you're going to turn around and need the money within a year, it's really tough to make any interest on that anyways. You might as well leave it in a savings account or your checking. But any money that you don't need in the next year, I would encourage you to give us a call at Falcon Wealth Advisors, because we may be able to open up a checking or savings account. Again, we charge our investment advisory cost with that, but we're going to be able to invest that and perhaps maybe make you 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7%, depending on what the goals are for that money. And so it's a quick, easy way to maximize your savings by not just having it sit there and earning you little to no interest. Okay, so there's 2 things. So one, the good takeaways here. One, check your fees on your bank accounts. And it's okay to shop. Now, again, you don't want to go all over town and mess around and bounce around. I get it. Check your fees. And maybe before you do make a change, just ask them. Say, hey, I know you're charging me this overdraft protection fee or this monthly fee or whatever. Can you waive it? Can you lower it before I take my business somewhere else? I really like banking with you guys. I want to stay. Is there anything you can do with the fees? And I can assure you that the bank should consider, because again, a big way for them to make money is on your deposits by loaning that money out. All right. So check your fees at your banks, and maybe it pays to shop around a little bit. Make sure you're not getting nickel and dimed. And then if you do have money built up in a savings that you don't think you're going to need within the next year, let's have a conversation about it. Give me a call or email me. My email is jake@falconwealthadvisors.com. I'm happy to have a conversation with you. Happy to have a conversation with you to talk about your checking and savings accounts and make sure that they are being fully maximized. Because if you have your money sitting in a savings account for 5, 10, 20 years, earning 0 to 1% interest, and you have thousands of dollars in there, that could literally cost you thousands of dollars in opportunity cost of interest that you could have made just by switching the way that it was invested. And that's what we're here to do at Falcon Wealth Advisors. We want to enhance your financial literacy. We want to educate you on the options that are available to you so that you can understand exactly what your financial plan means to you. Okay, very good. Quick plug to my social media. Before I go into my fun fact, I'm out there on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Please feel free to connect with me. Our team is also out there on all the various social media platforms. We also have other podcasts and blog that we're kicking out. The easiest way to get access to that stuff is to simply subscribe. So if you're watching this on YouTube, I encourage you to subscribe to our channel. If you're listening to this on your favorite podcast platform, I also encourage you to go ahead and subscribe. But if you just want to kind of pick things up a la carte, if you simply go to www.falconwealthadvisors.com and you click on the content section of our webpage, you've got all of our blogs, all of our content right there for you. And you can take a look through. There's tons of content. for you to sift through and figure out if one of the shows makes sense for you to tune into. All right. So I've got an exciting news here for my fun announcement is that Corey and I started this, I believe right before or maybe right during the early beginning of the pandemic, is that we wanted to do a lending library with our clients and friends. And so what we did is we literally had bookshelves built in our offices so that we could stock it with books that we've either personally read or heard that were good or that our staff recommended, that we could literally give to clients and share, again, going into enhancing that financial literacy or sharing knowledge. I thought it was a really cool idea. I read this somewhere that another team somewhere else in a different part of the country was doing it. I thought it'd be a great idea to do that. So since we still aren't seeing clients in our office, what I've decided to do is go ahead and post up on the screen. So if you're watching this on YouTube, we're going to go ahead and flash up our library list of books. And if you see a book on this list that you think may be interesting to you, why don't you go ahead and shoot me an email, or Corey, and my email is, again, just jake@falconwealthadvisors.com. And Corey's is corey@falconwealthadvisors.com. And we're happy to go ahead and send you out a copy because we can't shake your hand and see you in person right now. We'd love to be able just to mail you out a copy of the book. If you want to bring it back, great. If you love it so much that you want to share it with somebody else, great. So there's no obligation to bring it back. We're not going to log it like a library and say you're overdue or charge fees or anything like that. What we're really trying to do is just share in the knowledge of books that we found useful to us. I've got a couple of picks on this list. If you're curious, so the number one finance book on there, in my opinion, that I've read recently has been The Psychology of Money. We sent that out as a gift to all of our clients for the holidays. It was that impactful to me. So if you're not a client or you didn't get it or you want another copy or whatever, let me know. We're happy to send you one. And then on personal recommendations, my favorite all-time book is Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth. It definitely opened my eyes up to a lot of things about the way that we see things from a very egoic standpoint and looking and giving more empathy to the other people around us because they're also just seeing things through their own lens as well. I think it's a really good book. It's fascinating in there. So those are probably my top two picks. We've got staff recommendations. We've got more financial and retirement books. And then we've got other books that I've read along the way there. Corey's got his picks in there as well. So again, like I said, if you're interested, feel free. Don't hesitate. Shoot me an email. There's no reason we need to wait for you to come back in the office. We'll send you a copy now. And again, if you want to return it, great. If you don't, that's fine too. Again, we just want to share in the knowledge out there. So thank you guys again for tuning in. I hope you have a great and happy new year. And we look forward to what lies on the horizon for 2021. Thank you again for tuning in, like I said, and I hope you have a great week.